2 years ago, I shared my story on how I got started in UI/UX design with no degree, no experience, and no network. If I could turn back time and rewind back to the beginning of my design career, what would I do differently? And what would I continue doing? I summed this up into 4 different areas. Let's start with the first one, growth mindset. If I could start over again, I would not let my lack of professional degree hold me back from doing what I want to do. As a non-degree holder and someone who has never actually been to university, I felt that I'm always behind my peers. I felt that I don't have the qualification to become whatever I want to be. In product design, it's slightly different. We gauge a candidate's capability based on their work, their attitude, their personality, and not based on a piece of paper. Whether you have a professional degree or not, it should not limit you from doing what you want to do. Your past experiences in sales, marketing, and anything that's not design related should make you stand out more as a designer or whatever that you want to be. I'd rather hire someone with no degree but amazing work, amazing personality, instead of someone with a fancy degree from a prestigious university but could not design great user experiences. Which brings me to the next point. What you do outside of work is as important as what you do at work. If you have something that you love doing that is nothing to do with design, go ahead and do it. You could advocate for your local design community, participate in a hackathon, start a side project, solve a problem you care deeply about. These seemingly irrelevant side projects or activities make you stand out, and if you're still watching this right now, it means that you're a passionate person as well. And passionate people go the extra mile. When you apply for jobs, you tailor your resume for the job that you're applying for because it shows that you have put in extra effort to get what you want. Do a little bit more than what other people expect you to do. It could be the tiniest little details that you put into every single thing you do that makes you so different than other people. Pay attention to the little details. If I were to start over again in my career, I would still prioritize company culture over monetary gains. If you have been receiving offers and you don't know which one to pick, go with the one that gives you a good salary and company values aligns with yours. The money will come eventually if you do great work. In order to do great work, you need to be passionate about the work you do. So if you choose a company which you're not interested in but pays a high salary, you're probably going to end up hating your job. It's the best feeling ever when your employer supports the side projects that you do outside of work and even shares it with their audience. I would also prioritize skill development. The first thing I would start with is to master a design tool first. Go with Figma. Figma has evolved over the years and it has a bunch of advanced features. You don't need to get overwhelmed with all these features yet. When you're a beginner at something, it can be daunting and feels like no matter how hard you try, you're not progressing at all. But that's not true. Focus on being 1% better. If you are designing something, focus on being 1% better than the previous screen that you designed. By focusing on being 1% better, you stop comparing yourself with other people. Everyone learns at a different pace. Everyone's past experiences contribute to their current skill set in different ways. After trying for months and you still feel like you're not going anywhere, try not to get discouraged. You just need to compare with what you've done previously. And if you've done 1% better than your previous version, it means that you're progressing. To improve your design skills, I always recommend you to study world-class designs in detail. Observe how world-class designers design their products. You can use a tool like Mobbin to get started. I go to Mobbin every single day to understand how the new trending apps are doing their designs right now so that I understand what's happening in the industry. There's this great book called Steal Like an Artist. One of my favorite things in this book is to fake it till you make it. The author says that you want to pretend to be making something until you actually make something. This is the same principle that applies to imitating great designs. If you want to design a financial app, take a screenshot of one of your favorite financial apps, paste it on Figma and copy it one by one. You don't want to copy these designs in real-world projects, obviously. Treat this as a practice to improve your design skills. Because by copying something, you start questioning yourself. Oh, how do these apps use different font weights to emphasize different information on the screen? how do these apps lay out their sections so that it doesn't distract the user from the primary goal that they want the users to achieve. Pay attention to their usage of spacing. How much spacing is between every single element on the page and why? Starting out as a designer, I wish I had worked with people more. Don't work alone. When you work with other designers, you bounce ideas off of each other. You discover how other designers come up with solutions to the same design problem that you're solving. You may think that you have the best design solution ever, but if you work with other designers, chances are you come up with more creative solutions than you would if you were working alone. Starting out, every designer would think they need an expensive course or a boot camp to get ahead, to learn everything that they need to know about design. The reality is practical knowledge is more important than theoretical knowledge. When I started out in design, I did not take any courses because honestly, I don't have the budget for it, but nothing beats putting out actual great work. So if you don't have the budget for expensive courses as well, just learn on the job. If you don't have a job yet, it's okay. You could start by faking it till you make it and maybe observe what products need design help, take the initiative to design a solution around that, write a case study about how you approach your design process and use it as your portfolio. Make it the best ever portfolio that you can. The best designers have typically worked on hundreds and hundreds of projects. You get good by it by doing it again and again and again, becoming 1% better. You want to be looking at your design work 1 month ago and be like, wow, look at how far I've come. That's the goal. As a junior designer back then, I kind of wished I spent more time to understand the product and the business before diving into designing something. If you want to become a truly great product designer, you need to understand the product and the business goals, industry trends, and the competitors. Someone with great product and business knowledge and also great at design brings more value than someone who doesn't care about anything else and just wants to draw rectangles on a screen. Even though you don't need to code, you still need to understand the technical feasibilities of designs. I recommend you to learn a little bit of code. Just watch a free YouTube video on HTML and CSS and understand how your designs get translated into code. Having a tiny understanding of code helps you assess whether your designs are feasible. And that alone sets you apart from many designers because most designers do not want to understand code. The third part to this is creating leverage. You create leverage by documenting every project, every tiny milestone, be it personal projects or projects that you've completed at your job. All these documentations eventually become your portfolio. Every time you finish a project, you move on to the next one. And you tend to forget the tiny details that happened in the past project. If you document everything properly, you're going to remember what went wrong, what's the challenges that you faced, how you solved this problem, and what are the impact that you brought to the project. And by portfolio, I also mean your personal website. I wish every single designer took their personal website more seriously because nowadays, personal brand is more important than ever. Your personal website represents what you do, who you are. It brings opportunities to your door so that you don't need to go find it. Invest in a personal website. If you don't want to spend too much time building it, buy a template and launch your personal site this weekend. If you need inspiration on how to design your personal website, you can check out my website where I showcase what I do. Do also check out this resources page. All the free and paid resources that I've created over the years live here. So we've gone through how to create leverage by documenting your project and taking your personal website seriously. Do not forget to share your work. I wish I've spent more time crafting my portfolio, showcasing my work, creating more case studies for all my projects. I'm also going to recommend this book by Austin Kleon, Show Your Work. People are not going to discover you if you don't put your work out there. This is one of my favorite parts of the book, sharing something small every single day. If you put yourself, your work out there, you'll start meeting amazing people. And it actually happened to me. I could 100% advocate for this. Another way to create leverage is to set aside time to learn high-income skills. There are so many high-income skills. Pick the one that you are most curious in. Maybe it's video editing. Maybe it's game development. Take something that you love and you're curious about. Start learning how to get better at it. For example, you're good at design and you're also very good at marketing. You can create excellent marketing campaigns for the design project. The key here is to set aside time to learn these high-income skills. Allocate a daily 1-hour slot in your calendar to remind yourself to spend time working on this high-income skill. Ali Abdaal has done this. If you want to write a book, set a time block in your calendar. Every day at the same time, sit down, write. Before you know it, this habit starts building up, it becomes part of your routine, and eventually you're able to publish a book. Next up, productivity hacks. Have a super organized Figma file. Whenever you're not at your desk, people know how to navigate throughout the file. Developers are not going to come for you. PMs are not going to question you, where is this screen, where is that flow, because you have laid out everything nicely on Figma. This helps you with two things. One, it shows that you're a very organized person. Secondly, you could spend less time in meetings and more time doing the things that you want to do. I wish every designer would pay attention to how they organize their Figma files. You don't need to name every layer, but you should have a system to let people know what's the latest designs that needs review, what's the designs that are ready for development, what are the flows like, what happens when someone clicks on this. If you want a tutorial on how to organize your Figma file, leave a comment below with this emoji and I will look into it. And the second productivity hack is to get really good at time management and eliminate distractions. I've made a whole video on how I manage my time while juggling a full-time job, freelance projects, and side hustles. If you like this video, subscribe, give it a thumbs up, and I'll see you in that video. Bye!